Hey, look, we're live now. What's up, everybody? Hope your day is better than the stock market, but that's the way it goes sometimes. This is At the Close. Spencer Joel with you for the last half hour of the trading week. Let's get right to it, Joel. All right, it is time for PreMarket Prep at the close.
Three consecutive highs, opened, matched yesterday's low, and then once it took out there, that's all the breakout momentum traders needed.
Get the charts up. There they are. That's Shopify. Not interested in that. Pull up the S&P futures, please.
Oh, sorry, sir. Sorry. Well, I'll tell you right now, we have the boat indicator from Dennis this morning, but now we have a new indicator. It's called the Spencer Israel Pessimism indicator, and this morning, when we were doing our preparation for the show, Spencer's like, "There's nothing good out here. There's no good news.
No.
I can't find any," and the market gods must have been listening to Mr. Israel because we got tanked and never saw the close, barely got over the previous day's low, and then we just started going south. Really, no major news or anything, just good old fashioned selling beget more selling, and things picked up when you took out Monday's low at 55.5, and we just snuck into the 4,300 handle, which is pretty amazing since we traded 45.09 yesterday. We traded 42.74.50 today. So if I'm doing my math correctly, that's a 225.9, a 234 point move, almost straight down. I don't think I've seen that in a long time. Now, the buy the dippers are coming in here as we speak. I have no idea where we're going to end up today, but we do have a nice rebound coming off the lows. Not much going on in crude. Crude's down 212. Really a seesaw week for crude. Can't really get a good grasp on the technicals there. Gold, that failed miserably at 1960, 3 days in a row. Now you're down 1230, 1935.90. Silver, still a 24 handle for now. That's down 32 cents at 24.31. Bitcoin, risk off, sell Bitcoin, down 15.20 at 39.725. In Ethereum, it's down not nearly as much on a percentage basis, though. That's down $45.50 at 29.78.50.
All right, we got to go to Bed Bath & Beyond here. Bed Bath & Beyond is halted on some M&A interest on Bye Bye Baby. We talked about this before. There have been some M&A speculation as it pertains to Bye Bye Baby, which is their baby store, right? And so there's some interest from buyers, according to the Wall Street Journal. So Bed Bath & Beyond just got halted on a circuit breaker on that headline.
Oh, is that the one that closed up at 14 Mile in Orchard Lake? Is that the same Bye Bye Baby?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe if they can sell off some of their assets, raise their cash position. I mean, I guess it's good for the company because it went to 16.30 to 18. Just looking at chart here, of course, with this news, can go anywhere it wants. Not much between 18 and 20. If you're doing a short-term trade today and it gets up 20, and you don't feel like taking it home. But there it is. Travis Molson. Hey, Joel, it's been months, but I'm back. Where you been, Travis? Where you been for months? But anyways, that's what you're looking at Triple BY.
Yeah. Anyway, Triple BY notwithstanding, it's kind of one of those days there really isn't much to say. If you're wondering why we just spiked in the overall market about 10 minutes ago, you can thank Loretta Mester for that. I guess according to her, the Fed does not need to raise rates by 0.75 of a point. at the next meeting. So tomato, tomato. One Fed person says one thing, one Fed person says the opposite. What does it mean? Who the heck knows? Who even cares at this point? I'm so over it. But that is why we just spiked there in the overall market right before Joel and I hopped on the stream here. But everything is down. Everything is down with a couple of exceptions, right? Twitter is up. Tesla is up. A couple of defense stocks are up. A couple of airline stocks are up. And a couple of video game stocks are up. And a couple of consumer staple stocks. Other than that, though, there really isn't much that's green. If you look at what's up, I mean, maybe let's go with KMB, Joel. Kimberly-Clark. They had earnings this morning. We didn't talk about it, but it's ripping. It's having its best day, I think, probably since COVID. This is its best day, I think, since the pandemic started.
Holy yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. They're just you're out on an island there here with the gap up and go 1147. I mean, ride the momentum. I mean, if you get long here, you're one brave puppy. If you're shorting it here, there's really no reason to do it. The only validation here I have for the stock and where it stopped at is because right here, before it fell off a cliff, you had a high back in at the end of January at 138.94. Okay. So was it that it? What we actually got through that. Well, that was oh, excuse me, 141.68. And where did it get to today? 140. How's that for a level for you? So, I kissed it twice so we can make it 2-star resistance. But if it gets up there, uh, there's room up to a pair of highs at the 144.60 area. 140, let's call it 144.50. Don't worry about a breakdown until you start to fall into the gap.
I'm just going through the list of stocks making new 52-week lows today, and there are some A-list names on here, right? Like Meta, PayPal, Disney, Starbucks. I didn't even not realize Starbucks had fallen as much as it had, but holy
Oh, come
moly!
on. What about when Howard Schultz came back to work? Was that
Yeah,
the
yeah,
death knell
yeah,
for that? Did I say that back then? I
yeah.
mean, come on.
Man, I sold this thing. I forget when. I think it was like 110. I sold this thing. Thank gosh I did that.
Yeah.
Uh, whew. But
Expensive coffee. I mean, the union is getting unionized. I mean, nothing good. Nothing good at all.
yeah, and then this intuitive surgical is a head scratcher. They had earnings, and the top the headline numbers were okay, right? The top line, the bottom line came in above estimates there. I guess their growth rate slowed a little bit, but is that really a reason to knock the stock down to 13, almost 14%?
Yeah.
I guess. All right.
I mean, had a nice run up. People lean long into the report. Bad day yesterday, coming off with the market, and just got caught. I will say for your two ISRG traders, investors. I mean, you still got this low to lean on. You still got that low 248.63. You didn't get there yet today, but after that, I think on a monthly basis, you have to be concerned. You have to be concerned if it takes that out. We know when stocks start taking out monthly lows,
That's
they got
right.
a lot of room on the downside. That's a big 2-day down move, but it looks like we're going to be settling near the lower end of the range, and
Yep.
this thing's
Yep.
changed quickly here. Someone asked about Twitter. I guess Musk is getting closer to financing, and
Well, he has the financing. He announced that there's a filing yesterday. He has funding is secured for that. This is my Twitter take. Ready? Twitter reports earnings. Is it Thursday? Let me check. I think it's Thursday, right? Yeah, Thursday morning. Okay, Twitter reports earnings Thursday morning. My take is that by end of day on Thursday, this whole saga is put to bed. I don't know how, but it's over. Elon Musk is either the new owner of Twitter or he is pulling out, and we'll know by end of the day on Thursday. That's my take.
okay. I mean, I just don't. I don't know why he would want a company personally. I mean, if he's just doing this for his benevolence and for free speech, and more power.
Freedom. That's why.
Yeah, more. I don't get it, but we'll see what happens with that. 54-20, and maybe they'll do. I guess they're teaming up with Thomas Bravo to maybe sweeten the pie a little bit, but I just don't know if Twitter wants to sell. They just want to struggle into eternity. It's kind of the way it feels, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens when they report on Thursday and give us some more clarity on the situation.
Yeah. By the way, that the calendar for next week is, as
Loaded.
we say, loaded. Here it is, right up on the screen there. Uh, I mean, Monday's whatever, right? But Tuesday morning, UPS, Pepsi, 3M. After the close on Tuesdays, Alphabet, Microsoft, General Motors, Chipotle. Then you go to Wednesday, you get Boeing, you get Humana. After the close on Wednesday, Meta, Ford, Qualcomm, PayPal. That PayPal report should be fun. Thursday is the big day, right? Because Thursday in the morning you got Twitter, you got McDonald's, you got MasterCard, and then after the close is Amazon and Apple. And not to be forgotten, Intel, US Steel, Roku for solar. Friday is the big day for oil, right? ExxonMobil, Chevron, AbbVie, and Bristol Myers also that day. So and Honeywell. So big, big, big week. I don't know if next week is the biggest week of the season in terms of quantity, but it is the biggest week of the season in terms of just name brands.
Big, yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
the big ones. I don't know how many Dow components are on this list, Joel, but more than a handful. So it's good. But Black Mage is asking, will Roku bomb? Most likely, right? I mean, if the tea leaves tell us anything, it's that Roku quarter. If Netflix was any clue at all, it wasn't great. And actually, if you think about Roku, what two businesses is Roku in, right? It's in the streaming business and the hardware business, right? That's Roku in a nutshell, streaming and hardware. And both of those industries are having serious problems right now. So I know the stock is already down what's it down, like 80% from its highs, but it's not looking great. It's not looking great. So
That's an understatement there. Making a new low of the move, right near where this is a big level too for Roku. Last month's low, 97.91. You took that out. You're back above it now just by the hair of your chinny chin chin. Two other monthly lows at the Century area. So I mean, you're banking on that. If you're going long here and going long into the report, that's what you're banking on. You're banking that low holds, and we know how that story usually ends. So,
yeah.
um,
Joel, you know
that-
what I'm surprised about today? And the Roku chart reminded me of it just now. But and I get that the whole market is down today, right? But how many of these stocks are making new low, are falling below their prior low from like a month ago,
I
right?
know, I
Like a
know.
lot of them. I mean, Roku's doing it, Facebook is doing it, right? PayPal, and I said this earlier with the 52-week list, PayPal is doing it. There's just so many of these stocks that are like, if you're buying at any point in the last month, at least it had an obvious out, right? Which is that March low. Well, now you're below it, right? Shopify's doing it again. So, it's brutal out there, right?
Hard. It's just hard to pick. It's just hard to pick a bottom. We know that, and the momentum is here, but the momentum is to the downside. The real culprit today, and the handwriting was on the wall, and I don't tango with this stock, but man, I here's the culprit for today right here, the Googster. Look at that. You had your January low, you had your late February low, you had your March low, and you had that low there yesterday. This line is absolutely history now. I know Google reports, and they'll probably make a trillion zillion dollars,
They
but
will.
man,
Yes, I can confirm they will make all the money.
yeah, but I just don't know. And if you ever do they guide or do they not guide?
They got it.
Boy, oh boy. I mean, oh, that would be the death crunch, man. If they come out and beat, but God lower it. That would be you could just stick a fork in the market if that happens.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Not a great day for Google, that's for sure. Not a good.
No, I mean, there was a setup too there. I mean, 2,500 and similar to the Amazon at 3K. I mean, you're losing your star leadership, and this is something we talked about. 3K was the big ladder in Amazon. Apple just was acting gnarly, on that rally earlier in the week. It did have a nice pop up yesterday. I mean, the worst thing about this is the move from yesterday morning, where we were over 4,500. I mean, it's not going to be, classified correctly because you just part of Thursday was giving up gains, but just on a mark to mark basis, this has to be the one of the worst moves of the entire year. Worst 2 day worth of price action I've seen over in the entire year. That's
Yeah,
um that's just the truth.
yeah.
The God honest truth.
I mean, so like in like how many stocks in the S&P are actually up today? I think there's like a couple dozen, right? But it's not so much that everything is down as much as it is that like it's almost it's the size of the move, Joel. Because it's not like all these stocks are down 1% or 1.5% or 2%. No, I don't know what the median is, but I'm sure the median today is probably somewhere in the 3% neck of the woods, 4%.
What happened to HCA?
ACA?
HCA.
Oh, HCA?
Yeah.
That was earnings.
Oh boy.
Yeah, wow, 270 to 210 in one day.
It made a new all-time high yesterday.
Oh gosh,
Is that an absolute rug pull?
let's take a look.
Holy mackerel. That is so unfair to investors. Look at that. New all-time high yesterday. And now you're thinking, I mean, the guy has to get over 240 to fill the gap. Ugly, ugly, ugly. Martin Contreras asking about Cleveland Cliffs. I saw that too,
Hey,
man.
it's in the green, isn't it?
No, it's down
Oh,
67
damn
cents.
it, damn it,
Yes, they
damn
gave
it.
back all
Damn
those
it.
gains. You did ask me about this one, Martin, and this is going to do you absolutely no good. But if you would have, I would have said, well, you got a pesky high here, 32.41. You got a pesky high here, 32.53. So it went to 32.73 and then it just turned around and got beat. But it was a good report, but man, you missed some good resistance there. So if you're looking to get out of that one, I don't know. You're going to have to look for, I think, an intermediate level here, above or below that $32 area. We just lost a quick 20 handles down in the lower 42.80 handle. So
It's because those Mestre comments were stupid. That's
yeah, if you're yeah, once again, man, listen to Loretta. I mean,
yeah.
come on, folks, let's take on our own.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wait. So anyway, just moving around the market here and talking about stocks that are falling below their March lows. Everywhere I look, I see it. Okay, so I just went over to the banks, right? J.P. Morgan, same story, Joel. Falling below its March low. The banks, there's no sector that is safe. Maybe energy.
No, well, it didn't make. Well, yeah, well, that's way below its March lows, but you still can pin your hat here. Uh, it didn't take out the low from last week at
All right,
125.02.
fine, fair enough. You got me there. Um,
We're
and
coming
look,
up on the lows, folks. 74.50 is our low. I don't know if we got some selling balances or what, but everyone's out of the pool here. It looks like heading into the final 10 minutes of this disastrous week.
yeah, I don't know if I call it disastrous, but certainly ain't great. It certainly ain't great. Strength in video game stocks today. EA, Take Two. There was an M&A rumor midday regarding Ubisoft, which trades OTC in the U.S., but I suspect that's why you're seeing some strength in the in those other names today. In fact, you actually that midday spike in EA coincides with that Ubisoft rumor. So I suspect that's why those two.
Rumors are tough.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's taken over EA, but
Well, you know what? Here, let's look at this.
$6 to sell. They just slammed this market again, and we just made a new low on the session at 72 and a quarter. So the traders are trying to get out ahead of that sell imbalances, which can be a tricky thing. But
It's been a while since we've seen a sell
that's a
imbalance
big sell
that
imbalance. Yeah.
size. Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Yeah, as we continue to make new lows into the close, but there really isn't anything. There is no broad asset class that is doing okay today. Everything is down, right? Stocks down, commodities down, crypto, the big cryptos at least down. Um, I guess I guess some bonds are doing okay, but like, um, I mean, so there are some currencies that are doing okay, but like some forex pairs, but everything is basically down today. There really is nowhere to hide on a day like today, which makes you feel warm and fuzzy inside. Um, okay, it's 3:52 here. We got 8 minutes left into the close. Let's see some tickers in the chat. What do you guys want to talk about here? Because that's, I mean, I've gone through my list is exhausted. It's all everything is the same, and when I look ahead to next week, all I see is earnings, and nothing really outside of that. So, oh, you know what else we were talking about earlier, Joel, on a different show. Look at Chewy. I haven't looked at Chewy in a while, and then after this, we'll look at Wolf.
Whoa,
Yeah,
chewy.
yeah.
Man, it looks like investors bit off more than they can chew in this one. Making a new low of the move, straight down since 42. Ah, man, it's taking well, you're just in the area monthly now. You took that out by a buck. You got to get above 35.59 before you start. But I mean, it made a new monthly low by a buck in March. So far, it's been by a buck in April. We're not quite out of April yet. Next monthly low, yeah, ooh, 31.78. That's the best I could do for you right now on Chewy.
All
And
right.
then people are asking about Wolf.
Wolf. This one looks actually Wolf does not look that bad.
Yeah, that looks, yeah. I mean, on a relative basis, that looks okay. Don't like those 3 days. Coming down. I wouldn't say it's toast until, and I'd see these pair of lows here at 2060. You only got to 21 today. So needs to hold 2060. If not, I'm not even gonna might blink here at 2044. But after that, you're looking under $20.
All right. Some of these I don't know what there is to say. Like I don't know what there is to say about Coinbase. Okay, it's an all-time low.
Is
That's all.
it
Yes, that's all there is to say. It's an all-time low. I mean,
really in
all
Bitcoin? Wow.
all time low. You got to go. I don't know what else there is to say about that. Okay.
And just think about it in relation to how Bitcoin's traded. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I mean, Bitcoin's, I mean, on a this has no correlation at all because
Well,
Bitcoin's,
well,
oh my,
no, it actually does. Because Bitcoin goes down and Coinbase goes down, and then Bitcoin goes up, Coinbase also
Coinbase
goes
go,
down.
yeah,
It
oh, I
also,
got that. Okay.
it also goes down. So there's a pretty strong correlation there. It just kind of goes down every day. Is the correlation? What else here? Da, 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 da. Okay, let's look at this one. I haven't looked at this one for a minute. DRV. That was a high flyer. Why do I remember that? That was a high flyer from a couple of years ago,
Is
wasn't it?
this,
Oh, it's a super thin one. My bad.
yeah,
Oh,
it's an is it an inverse ETF?
oh
Because
yeah,
it's,
yeah. My bad. This is a real estate bearish direction thing. Okay, that's why it was ringing a bell.
yeah, that's a tough one.
Um, well, if you have a near term bearish thesis on real estate, go for it. But keywords there being near term. But leverage ETFs are tough. You got to understand how the rebalancing works, and please, please, please don't hold any leverage ETF for more than a couple of days. And especially if you're in a shopping market, you'll get eaten alive on that thing. What else? UNFI. Sure. Let's go to food here. UNFI, Joel. When do they report earnings? Let me tell you. They report earnings on I don't know. Not confirmed. No confirmed date yet. So
Oh man, it's had a nice run, and it came to abrupt halt yesterday, closing on the lows of the session. It looks like. This to me, this is turned. You had two big red candles back at the end of January, and you went down. Seems like whenever you get two red candles, usually get some follow through on the third one. Whether or not that's going to mark the low of the move or not, but it's just too. I can't really put a lot of emphasis on this 44.31 low. But I will say if you're looking to buy this as support or you're looking for support level, I do like this 42.5 area. I see three highs just since April 13th at the 42.5 area. So that could be the next stopping point for United Natural Foods.
all right, we got 2 minutes left here. I figured I would just I would stop the count a little early. Joel, you got anything fun planned for the weekend?
Do I have anything fun planned for the weekend?
Yeah.
We are going to a play at the Fisher.
Oh, I'm going to the Fox tonight.
Oh yeah, what are you
Yeah,
going to
I want
see?
to see a Blue Man Group.
Oh really? The
Oh,
old Blue
really?
Man Group. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Gonna hit the pool a few times. It's supposed to be 80 degrees too, right?
Oh, is it really?
Yeah. So
Oh,
transition to the gin and tonics maybe, and for the hot weather, and got some work to do to be finding support. That's for sure. It's hard to be optimistic going into the weekend after the last 2 days, but
look. If you have a long enough horizon and you're diversified enough, then you should probably just keep on keeping on. But like in the near term, it looks pretty ugly out there, and it almost doesn't even matter what like the earnings themselves are, because I saw a thing from FactSet, I think it was yesterday, right? It was like the majority of companies that have reported so far have reported above estimates. They've beaten the estimate on the EPS, they've beaten the estimate on the revenue, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they beat or they miss, because if they give back all their gains, that's almost worse. That's almost worse than
it's a
just
guy. Yeah,
missing in the first place, because that just means the market don't care about your beat. So
yeah, it's the guidance too.
and the
It's
guidance,
going to be the
yeah,
factor here. So, yeah, triple D's. In Mitch as well, and they flipped a little bit before I did, but yeah. Well, oof, boy, just slid again. 42.64. And just going to the S&P chart here, folks. I guess the
yeah.
only lesson we can learn from today is we just had this big run up, and when you have big runs up and you lose the lowest of the lows, this is the kind of price action we got. So will we see those March lows next week? Good chance of that happening. So folks, getting just a small bounce into the close here, 62.25 low. Sorry we couldn't do a better job for you in the market this week, folks.
All right, that's a wrap. Everyone, pencils down. Let's do it. Let's all do ourselves a favor and get away from the computer here for a couple of days. We'll be right back on Monday morning. Joel, have a great weekend. Everyone else watching, have a great weekend. We'll catch you guys on Monday, and hopefully, I don't even know. Hopefully, it's better.